be nice.
Can we still be friends? Things just can't go on. Can we still be friends? We had something to learn. Now it's time for the...
You're not getting up! Come on! Get up!
Aye, is he getting up?
No, he's not getting up.
Have you asked him, is he getting up?
I asked him, I told him to get up, he's no getting up.
Is he getting up?
No, he's not getting up.
Right, ask him again if he's getting up.
Come on, time to get up.
I'm not getting up.
Ryan, it's time to get up.
Kenny, I'm not getting up.
Ryan.
I'm not getting up.
Yeah, what is it? Yeah, what is it? Why don't you ask me what it is and I'll tell you. It's Mark Echo's getting up. I don't have any idea who Mark Echo is. I don't suppose it matters. He's probably some rich wank clothing designer that's probably just a guest though, probably. Let's go straight into the action. This is me pulling the shit out of somebody with a blue jacket on, because I can't fucking stand people with blue jackets in this game. This is a stealth section, sneaking past a security guard to get into some government building, jumping up on a ledge. It's pretty shit actually. The section, I mean, is pretty shit, not the actual game. Obviously, this is apart from earlier on in the game. It's called Jump Over a Tramp. It's a lot of fun. I'm of course missing out on the main ingredients of what getting up is. It's an urban style graffiti game. There's no such genre in actual reality, but you get the idea. You mean like Jet Set Radio Future, Ryan? Well, not really, no, not exactly, but thanks for asking. For the first half or so of the game, you're mainly tied up in going into new areas and doodling over other people's doodles, which means that you own the territory. Now, I don't really understand the rules of the street, because, you know, I'm a racist, probably. This is me beating up a builder and a painter, because I can't stand them either. This is one of the slick FMV sequences that's away up at St. Arse and been so pretentious that you can't believe it. It's one of the games that has, you know, 4 or 5 FMV sections, really nicely presented, populated by really annoying characters, that eventually filters down into a really piss-poor game. Cue a retro style section, a bit of Frogger, bet you weren't expecting that. What happens when you get across the road? It's more of that gritty realism, that graffiti action, that great gameplay. Let's have a look at it. A minute and 10 seconds to go. For no day in time, I'm not getting any respect from my peeps. You know it, that's how we roll. This is a legend in the game. Looks a bit like Alan Hansen. He's going to tell me to stick posters there, other posters. Construction dudes? Oh, don't get me started on construction dudes. They really rub me up the wrong way, they do, construction dudes, so that I don't like them. Oh, a bit of platform action here. Looks a lot of fun. Isn't he? No, see, the thing about this game is it's a complete headache to play. You know, it's not bugged, it's just it feels horrible, and it's really, really boring, because even when the plot begins to develop throughout the game, even when you would imagine your character would have more things to do, they're still asking you to tag on the side of trains and tag on the side of airships, even when guys are shooting at you, which doesn't make an awful lot of sense, you know what I'm saying? There's some desperate attempts to try and shake up the game by sticking in, you know, more varied gameplay like the train sections, but they're crap because the main engine of the game isn't really built for it. The voice acting includes, you know, the old Batman. Here's me fighting the old Batman, and he's pish easy to batter because I just hit him with a pole and he's dead. Oh fuck, no, you know he dies. I've ruined it. Oh, you might as well not buy it now. Listen to the voice of this heavy.
That was the shot 6 for 20. What's up with that?
What the fuck's that all about? Now, I said that the attempts to make variations in gameplay comes across as desperate, but in truth everything in the game pretty much comes across as desperate. The plot, inverted commas plot, which incidentally was written by the man Martino, whoever he is like something a 4-year-old would come up with. The mayor has killed your dad. Oh, I've ruined that for you now as well. Sorry. The game doesn't really have any redeeming features. The fight engine's crap. The main hook of tagging these areas coupled with the level design is boring and tedious, so why play it? Mark Echo's getting up. Mark Echo's get to fuck. Traditionally speaking, recommendations are, if you like that, you'll like this. But if you like getting up, you kinda need your head examined. So, Instead of buying it, go back and turn your Xbox on and play this instead, because it's better.
This is tonight's quiz. £29,000 can be won, and the question is 10 things that are an embarrassment to the games industry. As you can see, we have one thing up on the board already. It's frag dolls. What about J. Allard? An embarrassment? Independent games review websites on our board tonight, full of amateurs, terrible writing, and no girlfriends.
Just let them talk, let them bullshit.
Play dumps, you say? My son likes football.
Have you seen Shadow the Hedgehog? That's a bit of football. It's a football.
Is there anything educational?
Shadow the Hedgehog is a... there's sums, there's football sums. You kick them. It's the hedgehogs that have they teach you about sums. Maybe Prince of Persia. It's about a story about nothing about paedophiles. There are no paedophiles or rapes in it. It's just colours, just nice colours in it. A lot of parents are buying it. It'll stop your son turning gay too. There's biscuits in it.
What'd they say? Did you get in?
I got Prince of Persia. Fucking biscuits in it.
Ah,
Motherfucker! 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 Motherfucker!
You know, when I come back to a hard day in the office, I want to relax with a nice wee story. I heard Square Enix have got a wee story lined up for me. Will we have a wee look and see?
Or they never begin.
Imagine some Japanese games designers sat down in their tiny Japanese houses, sipping Japanese sake, eating sushi, dressing like geishas, watching Endurance, discussing how to approach their new Japanese RPG. Then imagine that they discarded all notions of gimmickry. They decide against innovation for innovation's sake. They just say, let's make a game that gets everything right. Dragon Quest VIII is that game. There's little to explain about a game as traditional as this. A hero embarks on a quest in one of the most beautifully realised worlds we've seen since the New York of Steven Seagal's seminal masterpiece, Nico. It's a world with day and night cycles and the best character and enemy designs I've ever seen in an RPG. Right, okay, whoa, stop here. We're not going to do a traditional review, because as much as this is a traditional game, there is a very, very important message in this game. It's almost like a cry out to all of us gamers who are always demanding new innovation, always demanding a new gimmick in our games. You know, these games designers have made this game and are telling us, you know, it's enough to just be great. It's enough to perfect an art form. It's enough to streamline and simplify everything so that you have the facility to tell a great story. And that's what this game is. This is a great story wrapped up in techniques that work, techniques that have been proven over the years to work, and it's an incredibly admirable thing. Okay, let's lighten things a wee bit with some game lookalikes. Right, who's this one here? Bob Hoskins, obviously. This beautiful little bunny girl here, Charlize Theron. I'd do her. And this guy with a moustache? Yosser Hughes, Freddie Mercury, Fawlty Towers, Jake the Snake, Lord Lucan, Allo, me, Burt Reynolds, Rick Rude, and Scary Zorro. Simple pleasures. You're going to grow to love the characters. Every character is really well realised, beautifully voiced, beautifully animated. Every character is And this is one of the most unique things about the game, is actually a character within themselves. So many RPGs just give you archetypes to play with, but this game actually delivers proper rounded characters. It all works to such an extent that you even get to know the enemies quite well. You get to look forward to fighting certain enemies out in the world map because you enjoy their attacks. I mean, look at that guy throwing the stones there, that was pretty cute. And what a fantastic way to avoid the whole curse of, oh no, no more random battles. You know, just make the random battles good. Make you look forward to having fights with these great characters. No, hello again. Before we finish, I feel it's important to again state just how important this game is. You hear so many people talking about great Japanese RPGs, but often what they really mean is, oh, you've got to play this RPG, it's free of a lot of annoyances that we normally put up with, it's a better story than we normally put up with. This is perhaps the pinnacle of the Japanese RPG. Its old-fashioned approach will at first be a shock to the system for many people who are used to more cluttered games. But if you persevere, you've got a game that's an incredible response to the current spate of MMORPGs, these soulless grind fests. Dragon Quest stands up as an example of what games should be about. A group of artists have come together and produced this without ever forgetting the whole point of the process. Fun. Heart. The creation of moments that matter. With all that said, let's leave it with the real star of the game. The world itself. Now let's take a brief look at a game that looks like it's about to do it all wrong. With Dragon Quest VIII comes a little demo of Final Fantasy XII. And of course it'd be frankly irresponsible for me to say that Final Fantasy XII is a bad game based on just this little demo, but it looks entirely charmless. And the worst thing is, it seems to have adopted little ideas from the MMORPG genre, which is a terrible, terrible thing. Based on this demo, Final Fantasy XII looks bad. Gameplay in the demo version might differ from the final release. I bloody well hope so.
Online video game review shows on our board this evening. Nothing more embarrassing than that. Cosplayers, for example. There's £29,000 to be won. Give us a call. I don't have a problem with cosplayers. Gives fat girls a chance to dress up.
Ready, people? Up and running.
Here we go, Jessica. No matter what happens, thank you for everything.
I have a feeling it's going to work fine this time. No glitches, no crashes. Good luck.
Take it, Jessica.
This epic battle will not be confined to the ground, and vast numbers of new warriors will be created to fight in this last great contest. The final tournament begins now.
If a computer can ever be programmed to enjoy something as simple and as beautiful as this.
Well, it's that time of the show. Very exciting. We've been looking forward to this for a very, very long time. It's one for Sony, as if the PS2 needed any more help, you know, slaughtering the 360 even though it's next gen. Right, as I was saying, Another one for Sony, a bit of poke in the eye again for the 360, turning into a bit of a ready. Could it possibly be? I don't know. Let's see. Right then, bit of background first. A few years ago a game called Ico came out. You've probably never heard of that. Shut up. This is a sequel to it, Shadow of the Colossus. You've probably never heard of this either. Shut up again. Straight off the bat you'll notice that Shadow of the Colossus bears very little resemblance to Ico, or at least you would notice that if you played either of the games, which of course you haven't. Be quiet, you small boys. Very little story's been disclosed at the start of the game. You're either through these tranquil surroundings, lovely backgrounds, heading towards Colossi. Once you reach said big bad guys, you're to defeat them. Pretty straightforward, isn't it? Is it? I don't know, maybe. You defeat them by getting on them, getting right up on the motherfuckers. Sorry, wrong review. Who was that there? See him? Hello. Aye, I was saying, you look for an opening, you look for hair that you can climb or ledges, and you attach yourself to it, cling on, equip your sword and look for weak spots. Once you find the weak spots, stab them with your sword, and eventually he dies once you've covered all the weak spots. Now that summary is accurate, but it does no justice to the experience. All it does is bring me to one of the very few criticisms I've got. Because, personally speaking, I appreciated the aesthetic qualities of the environment you ride through, because it does enhance a kind of lingering feeling of abandonment when you're contemplating these various ruins and wastelands. But this gives you, or maybe just me, a dilemma, because I then felt I didn't want to spend time taking in the scenery, as breathtaking as some of it is. I wanted to keep moving through the Colossi, and found that you can move through them at a fairly alarming rate because they're no difficult enough. You know, each have quite limited attacks, and with few exceptions they're utterly helpless once you've attached yourself to them. The paths you need to kill them are so well signposted, sometimes it's more of a challenge to find them in the first place than it is to kill them. This all sounds incredibly damning, but there's a single truth that nullifies any criticism. You have to play this game, because it's unlike anything else you've played before. Of course you can make criticisms, but only once you've conceded that you're no criticising mistakes. The simplicity of the story, environment and battle shows that it's all controlled. There's little question that this game is exactly as it was intended. Once you've accepted that, you can start to appreciate what Shadow of the Colossus does well, and what it does well, it does very, very well. I think I've seen this bit before. A big monkey's going to throw a barrel at me in a minute. I might be right. Of course, it was inevitable with this particular review that the wank hat was going to be on my head. A lot of people will be surprised I'm not gushing on about how thrilling and exciting the battles are. And they are, obviously they are. But as horrifying as it will be to the fanboys, the guys that tell you you need to play through it again on hard once you've finished, as horrifying as it will be to them, you do actually, to a certain extent, get used to fighting these things. What's brilliant and bizarre about Shadow of the Colossus is you have to seek out these big things to complete the game, but there develops a kind of companionship with them. Now, a lot of people say that's what the horse is there for, but to be perfectly honest with you, I found the horse a wee bit arrogant. He was a bit of a show-off, so I never really warmed to him. Now, I'd made the assumption before I even began this review that if you're watching it, you've probably already played the game, but for those of you that haven't played it, just believe me, just this once, you have to play it. If you don't, you've missed it. It will give you memories that you'll forget. Fucking blew it, didn't I? Blew it! Ah well, your loss. Calm yourself, this is me using pure logic here. Before you play Shadow of the Colossus, get things in perspective and don't get snobby about it. We're all spoiled little brats these days, so before you play a great game, play one of the worst games.
£29,000 to be won. We have some more answers on the board now. People who choose to go to E3. We have people who think they're important because they work in game shops. You know the type, the people who feel they have to pass comment on your purchases. And smell faintly of urine. Give us a call. £29,000 to be won.
Nintendo should warn parents. Well, the DS is dangerous because you talk to people that you don't know, and because I might threaten somebody and kill them. If I meet somebody, I might kill them. They think I'm a friend, but I kill them to death. I might meet them and then I'll kill them. I can groom people.
Right, here it comes. Here we go. Here we go.
I've no wish to hurry you, love, but have you seen the time? It's 10:15 and we're supposed to be there at 9. I don't think the registrar will be very pleased. We show up an hour late to these. Something that begins with an A.
You know, I was always a big fan of Tecmo's deception games. But sometimes a game can come along which makes you totally readdress all those games you used to like. You think to yourself, were they actually any good? Here's the story. This old king gets done in. Somebody throws a knife for about 100 metres into his back. You're the daughter? This mad cow with a purple dress on says you murdered him, and you're look at the way that guy came down the stair there. Did you see that? Wind back the tape, check this gay boy out. Let me explain the fundamental idea behind the game. You set traps. You lead people into those traps. You trigger them. Now, the problem with this is you can use the same 3 traps again and again. Okay, sometimes you might come across a guy who is immune to a bear trap. Let me say that again. A guy who is immune to a bear trap. But essentially, you can play through this entire game with just using the same few traps. There you just saw the smash floor, which acts as a springboard. And here comes the big fiery ball. Congratulations, you have mastered the secrets of Trapped. There's nothing more to learn. You're just marking time for the rest of the game. Now, you can customise your traps a wee bit. You can buy new traps. You can decide which traps to equip. But what's the point? Just keep using the same fucking 3 traps. Back to the story. And I'm tired of this pish in games. Japanese games always have characters who say very little to each other. Sometimes just one name. And fuck all else. See, here we are again. This is the screen where you can lay the traps. Here I'm laying 3 traps. The same 3 traps as usual. Oh, there's a springboard. Somebody flying down. Buckle up, folks. Something different's happening. Yes, in the rooms there are sometimes big special traps you can activate that cause interesting things like this to happen. See? Oh, dragged into some cogs. Ah, she's looking pretty healthy. And here we go, we'll just wait for this to finish. Right, just a minute. Patience. Here she comes. Now, wasn't that worth waiting for, folks? Oh, I'm getting angry. Now, the game may be mercifully brief, but there's lots of cutscenes with badly designed characters, badly translated. Regard the line, I'll put into the ground. I'll put into the ground. Here we go. This is another tactic I sometimes use. You stand on the trap yourself. Spring both of yous at the same time. You don't take as much damage as the other guy. Easy peasy. No challenge. Here's a big magnet. Sucking a guy in with a magnet. What am I going to do? I'm going to use my big ball. That's all you need to do. Just swap between a few different traps. Here we go. Here's another couple of people on a magnet. What'll I do? That's right, folks. Big ball. Big bow on their heads. Big bow on their heads. And you can keep track of how you killed everybody. Pushed into a bear trap, fucked in and up with a big bow, same as the last guy. Pushed bear trap, big bow, same as all the other fuckers. This game is a disaster. It's no an evolution of what is a brilliant concept. It's just a paint job. Kagero Deception 2 is where you want to go. This is exactly the same game, although somehow has more charm. Oh, there's a big bow on the head. See? Nothing's changed.
The time is here. We've established a list of developers that have got it coming to them, that can step up to the plate with Team CV. So if you're making games nowadays, your fucking card is marked. We're coming for you.
We're talking about the art of the square go. Yous guys are fucking dead.
Boom! We're setting the time, the place. We're going to bring your squad. You bring your squad. We're going to tell you who's on the card, and yous better step up to the plate. Everybody across the internet is going to be looking to see what your response is. So which developers are going to be first on the list? Which developers have got to come for a square go with Team? This is Toka 3, the Codemasters. Fantastic game, and aye, Codemasters, you've earned our respect. Gaming respect. But what about the respect of two teams together in a car park ripping each other's trousers off? Darling brothers, have you got the power to fist us? I know you're scared, we're all scared, bring it. I was just thinking, boys, thinking about the history of Codemasters. You think of the people, that have been associated with that company. The Darling brothers, the Oliver twins, the real tough guys.
I'm really scared of that.
Codemasters, Darling brothers, you better get training because we're fucking started. Come on, Ryan, 100 squats, double time.
Give a blind fuck, this man deserves to die. And when the sun comes up and I can't get a tan.
You know, ever since we were young, we've been looking for respect in this industry, and people swagger about like they've had it all their lives. Quote the Ryan Codemasters, your days are numbered. Team!
Congratulations, Codemasters, on the release of Toka 3. Bad news, there's not going to be a Toka 4.
Oh yeah, I'm happy now. And when the sun comes up and I can't get a tan. Oh yeah, I'm happy now. And when the sun comes up and I can't get a tan. Oh yeah, I'm happy. Oh yeah, I'm happy. Oh yeah, I'm happy now.
I'm sorry it's came to this, but something has to be done in this industry. People need to know who's up the top flexing their muscles while the rest are fucking bottom feeding. Alright, you made Treasure Island dizzy. Nice fucking egg. Codemasters, your eggs are getting cracked. Yous are going to be picking shells out your birds' fannies for months.
All the little children when you catch him.